So I talked about this before many times, and I'm sure people are sick of it, and it's a disgrace. But at the end of the day, we can't really do anything about it now. The building is half done. When I say half done, another few years off, of course, because the developers want to milk as much money out of it as they can. It's already €2 billion the National Children's Hospital, 2.5 I think it is. The most expensive hospital in the world, just to say, out of all the countries in the world, mounted at the most expensive one in Dublin. And guess what? There'll be no nurses, etc., etc., to staff in the hospital. That's what's going to happen after it's done. And then probably some walls will fall down because they use shitty material. The usual carry on, in this country. They can't get people to employ into the place, and there'll be no beds, the usual thing. Because it's just Ireland. But long story short, we can't really do anything about it now because, it's half built, you'd be stupid to just leave it there and abandon it. So let's be honest, it's going to be 10 billion, to put it straight to you. It's going to be 10 billion when you add up all the extras, etc., etc. It'll be about 10, 11 billion. So probably the most expensive mini building. It's more expensive than any other building in the world. So it's literally skyscrapers that cost less. I think even the Burj Khalifa in Dubai, cost even less than this National Children's Hospital. It's insane. The most expensive hospital in the world. Just to say, look it up, Jesus. It's unbelievable. But again, it was only supposed to be 650 million, which is not chicken feed too. Which is not chicken feed. But it's insane that nobody regulated this. Because again, this just goes to show it wasn't regulated, it wasn't thought out properly. They had huge engineers, etc., etc., that are all big degrees, etc., etc. Don't seem to have any common sense, but they have huge degrees in Karl Marxist Leninism, etc., etc. Because they all go to college and they're all far lefties. They all love the everything left. They're just what everything in the left, like Green Deal, etc., etc. All for that. But they have no common sense in how to do things. They're just total idiots when it comes to just doing the basic stuff in life. But I suppose it's posting insults. But long story short, this is a disgrace. I'm sure you would agree. 2.5 billion to go a long way to build a few houses. I'm sure you would agree. It would go a far long way to build a few houses in Cavan, across the country too. It would 2.5 billion and more, maybe, who knows. It would build a couple of bike sheds too, of course. But look at it is a laughing stock for the whole Ireland at the moment, with the bike shed costing €300,000 and counting, of course, because it was delayed. Because anytime you hear delay in any public works in Ireland, it's going to be extra money, billions, because why not? But it's insane that it's taken so long. It was supposed to open at the end of the year and it was still not there. It's going to be 2026, probably 2027, could be 2030, who knows, by the time the hospital opens. But long story short, it's a lot of money the taxpayer has to pay. And my worry, and I suppose the main reason why I'm making this video, is because we all know it. We can see it 100 miles away, what's coming down the track. That when this place does open, whatever that is, there'll be no nurses. They won't get the nurses because all the nurses are leaving and going abroad. They're going to Australia for better life, because why would you stay here and being abused by the Irish medical system, by the government, by NGO? Why would you stay here? I wouldn't blame them. But long story short, they won't get the staff. There'll be nobody to staff it. They have to probably just abandon it. That's what's going to happen, because you can just see it coming a mile away. It's the same with that fucking doll Puerto that they spent 10 million on. They don't know how to use that. They're just leaving it lying idle after knocking down walls and the whole shebang, and it's just lying there now gathering dust, because that's the Irish state for you. But that's what's going to happen. And also too, they probably won't, the walls will probably be made out of poor quality, because I have no doubt that half of the walls are on the cheap that's in the hospital. They probably will crumble in a few years. What I mean by that would be Micah probably thinks the same as in Donegal, because you would know they would do something like that, because they're that incompetent, the people over this, that they probably would get something that's literally from Tesco, basically, at this stage, that's they hold up the whole brick and mortar. But that's literally what is going to probably happen, because you couldn't trust them as far as you control them. But yeah, hopefully it doesn't happen. But I'm just waiting this, because it probably will happen, and it's going to cost another few billion, because why not? But it's quite insane. But again, we have nothing that we can do about it at the moment, because we'd be stupid to waste billions of euro and just leave the building lying idle. And especially because the country does need a new National Children's Hospital. Nobody can deny that. But at that cost, I don't know. You could nearly buy the country for that. To be totally honest, you could build the tallest building in the world for that. Well, I wouldn't want to see it. I wouldn't give them ideas because God knows how much they spend on that if they did it. But it's quite insane. It's just kind of PowerPointing in my head what I'm thinking about it, because a lot of people are furious with the cost, and they should be furious with the cost. It's insane. There's hospitals in Timbuktu that cost less. There's hospitals in England and Japan, in bigger countries with bigger populations, that cost less. Big, huge hospitals. Modern hospitals, as I say, one good example, even when I was in Finland, again, being in Finland, they built 2 children's hospitals for €1 billion each. Very modern buildings with big designs. Big, huge art designs, etc., etc. Like, no money was spared, basically, in doing these 2 children's hospitals in 2 different parts of Finland. Both for €1 billion. So basically, they built 2 children's hospitals for the price of 1. And they still weren't the most expensive hospitals, because the Irish one is just, it's insane. And a lot less beds in the Irish one too than the other 2 children's hospitals combined in Finland. It doesn't make any sense. But look at, I don't know. But take that as you will. But I'm just using that as a good example. They built 2 for the price of 1. So I wouldn't want them to come along now in the Irish government and say we're going to build another down in Cork or Tipperary or somewhere like that. Because we'd be looking at a few 100 billion. Because that's literally what the country is at the moment. Like, we can't even dig a hole without everything being expensive. It's just insane. We can't even dig a hole. But anyway, let me know what you think. I know it's absurd. And then especially because the money's needed elsewhere. The money is generally needed elsewhere. Especially, at most, there should have been 600 million, a billion at most. It shouldn't have been going up into the 5 billion. And that's what it's going up into. It's going to be absurd because it's not finished yet. And that's just the thing. It's not done yet. So the money's just going to keep piling up, and the investors will be happy because, yes, to be fair, they're all feeling for and feeling the gear developers. They're both feeling for, they're all cushy numbers, etc., helping their friends out. The politicians are getting a few bob out of it too. So, why the fuck do they care? I suppose, in the nicest way to put it. But anyway, let me know what you think and talk to you again. Bye.